Everybody, glad to have you today. Glad to be with you today. Today, we're going to do something a little bit tweaky, a little bit different, I guess. And I need your input. I need to know what you're thinking, so to speak, in this situation. So here's the scenario I'm going to put in front of you. You're in your office, minding your own business, doing something extremely productive while you're waiting for customers to happen, right? So I know you're doing follow-up. I know you're sitting here watching past coaching sessions. I know you're talking to your territory manager on the phone about what you can do to be better. Okay, all right. Now, all of a sudden, a salesperson comes in and says, or a sales manager comes in and says, man, we got a customer, we got a deal. I got a guy that's going to wants to pay cash for this truck. I got somebody who wants to go to the credit union. All right. Now, here's my question starting off. I've got two questions for you. The first one basically is, what is your goal right now? What is your goal for when you get a cash or credit union customer? So we're going to do a little poll here. So we answer some poll questions for you. Is your first goal to get the conversion? Is your first goal to have the salespeople try to help and offer financing to the customer? Or is the first goal to offer consumer product options to them? What is your first immediate goal when you get a cash or credit union customer? Aha! All right, get the conversion. Have the salespeople try to offer financing to the customer. All right, I think 76% of y'all got this right in this point. That is to offer consumer product options first. Now, how can you best achieve that goal? There's the second question, okay? So how can you achieve, that's the goal. How can you best achieve your goal? Have salespeople go out and ask why the customer wants to pay cash and go to credit union. Have the salesperson even go through a brochure presentation, for example, on mechanical with the customer, or is it a great VIP presentation? What's your first goal? Thank goodness. Okay, I was going to have to throw up my mouth a little bit if y'all pick something besides that, dadgummit. Okay, so great job. Yes, it's doing a great VIP presentation. That is your first goal with every customer. It doesn't depend if it's new or used, cash, credit union, finance. The VIP presentation is unique, as you know, to you. Okay? You're not going to go to any other seminar, any other training program that has this as part of their process in F&I. And that's one of the reasons our F&I numbers, as they are everywhere, but we are way ahead of the curve as far as what's happening nationally with penetrations and F&I numbers. Y'all are. We're not. Y'all are. All right. So absolutely, that's your first goal. It's a great VIP presentation. So, Justine, let's go to the next one. Okay. What this means is for some of you is some of us, though, are still doing things the way, quite honestly, we used to teach it and do it a long time ago. So here's the first thing I want to talk about. What is successful rules for today's conversion? Number one, salespeople need to stop trying to get credit apps on someone who says they're going cash or credit union. And the question you have up here is why not? Okay, well, the why not is because most salespeople can't do it without getting involved into too much information that they don't really know about. Because why are you doing this? First off, you're creating a barrier for the customer. Let me ask every one of you on this call. Most of you on this call came out of car sales. And most of you probably were taught we're going to get a credit app no matter what, right? Did you like having to go talk to someone who's truly paying cash for a car or truck? Did you like going out and having to get some type of 5-line or a customer statement on that credit app on that customer? Not only that, did your customer like it? In today's world of privacy and the things we worry about, so to speak, with our credit and privacy matters, et cetera, and someone you're paying cash for a car or truck, let me ask you something. How would you treat your parents? How would you treat you? All right. Would you be willing to give a complete customer statement to someone you're paying cash for a car or truck for? I don't think anybody on this phone call would. I don't think you ask your parents to neither. They don't ask your customers to. You're putting up a barrier that really gets in the way of you being able to do a good VIP presentation. Secondly, never ever ask a customer. Those of you who've been on coaching sessions before know my Mount Rushmore of stupid, you know what questions. Okay, well, here's one of them. Okay, never let a salesperson ask a customer who's going to the credit union what interest rate they get at the credit union. And we know the simple reason for this is why not? Because they're going to lie. And once they lie, they got to defend the lie. And as soon as a salesperson asks them what rate they're getting, what are they going to come back with? Well, we've been taught to come back with in years past, right? Oh, we can match or beat that. You finance with us, wouldn't you? Now, the only thing in that customer's head is what? Rate, rate, rate. They don't want to listen to a VIP presentation. They don't want to go through this with you. All they want to know is rate, rate, rate. Rate became the only thing you can use as a conversion. I think most of you that's the last thing I want to discuss on a conversion is interest rates. Of course, unless we got 0% can cheat. That's different, okay? All right. Train your salespeople how to handle this non-finance customer. This means get off your rear end, get involved in training with your salespeople and group meetings and even one-on-one meetings with your salespeople. And that's what we can help you with. That's what your territory manager, that's what we're here for, is to help you with this as well. Okay. So as an example, okay, once a customer and a dealership, basically, salesperson have agreed on numbers. I think the best way at this point is pretty normal situation. Mr. and Mrs. Customer, how do you plan on paying the balance on paying for your car or truck today? And the customer says, I'm going to my credit union. Not a problem in the world, Mr. and Mrs. Customer. Which credit union is that you use? Remember the Robert report I talked about a couple of days ago? That credit union is going to be in that Robert report. And it's going to show exactly what the loan rates are, terms are, down payment requirements are, et cetera, at that credit union. And if that credit union sells their own mechanical gap, et cetera. Okay, so no problem. Guys, the way I sell it to these salespeople is quite simple. This is easy, and you won. You sold the car, you sold the truck. That's your job. All right, now just make sure I talk to your customer, all right? So once they tell you I'm the ABC Credit Union, not a problem in the world, I'm going to go check with Brandon, make sure he's available to talk to us today. He's the person that's going to check all of our paperwork, make our numbers, make sure everything's correct, and he's going to give you everything you need to take to your credit union. You teach your salespeople how to punt at this point, right? That's really what we're doing, all right? So suppose, though, the customer sits there at this point, and it said they're paying cash, right? It's the same thing. It really is the same exact answer. Not a problem in the world. I'm going to check with Brandon again, make sure he's available to talk to you. He's going to check all our figures and number. And by the way, that's the person you can check our cash to. Again, the salesperson's done their job as long as they do what? Immediately they come to you and tell you what they got, what's going on, right? So when you do this way and you go through a VIP presentation with a cash or credit union customer, they don't have a preconceived wall of defense right now they built up in this situation. So after the VIP presentation, what would you be doing? Now let's talk about the conversion. You know, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, is there any particular reason that you're going to plan on going to your credit union today to finance this truck, this car today? And wait and see what they talk about. They're going to give you some reason, all right? And this or even cash. In particular, reason you're choosing to pay cash for a car or truck today. And this gives you the reasoning. They're going to come up with something to talk about. We talked about it countless times in our coaching sessions, okay? So the point of this, though, is that your reaction next. You know, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, basis of things you told me earlier, I'm really surprised you're going to your credit union today, especially in today's economy. Or I'm really surprised you're choosing to pay cash for a car or truck today, especially in today's economy. When you add in especially in today's economy, you got their attention. And of course, based on what they have said, of course, we've talked about this, we will in the future as well. We now go into what? Our cash conversion, credit union conversion. But we did this after going through your VIP presentation. And I want you to really pay attention. Now go back one more time, Justine. Go back previously for a second, please. Look at the very bottom. Last thing on here on this successful rules, today's rules, of successful conversions. All right. offer a finance or lease payment to every cash and credit union customer. I know Dan Stowers is on this call and Fonz is on this call as well. I know how much they push that as well. Offer a finance or lease option to every cash or credit union customer. My goodness, they're sitting there. They're in front of you, right? Why not? What you got to lose here in this case, right? So what this means is we're going to go through a VIP presentation, but we're going to do a little bit of tweaking in it if it is a cash or credit union customer. Now, the top part of your VIP presentation, of course, is going into factory warranty, mechanical, and the VIP benefits package, and then bundling UVP, possibly Save Seal, prepaid maintenance into a mechanical presentation. Okay, that part doesn't change. Nothing changes here on how they're paying for a car or truck. That presentation stays the same no matter what. All right. So to do that for a second, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, the transition, there's a reason these transitions stay behind me every day, almost every day, because I want a constant reminder. This is what makes a great VIP presentation than just doing a VIP presentation, because you can do a tremendous job going through benefits, but if you don't do the right transition, you're going to create objections that wouldn't be there ordinarily. So therefore, what do I mean by this? Mr. and Mrs. Customer, the reason I've been asking these questions about how long you keep your vehicle, how many miles you drive, more than anything, the equipment you're getting on your new vehicle, is to emphasize how important the factory warranty is to you. As a matter of fact, you're going to be getting a survey from the manufacturer wanting how we treated you here at the dealership, and were they happy with us, and even, of course, your new car or truck at the same time. And one of the big things they're going to ask is, did we do our job and go through the factory warranty so you totally understand what's covered, but also what is not covered? You catch that tone of voice? Okay, what's covered and what's not covered. So as you know, your regular factory warranty, at least for most of us on this call, for a period of 3 years or 36,000 miles, whichever comes first. And what are we going to do? We're going to block off the 3 years of 36,000 miles, right? Now, it covers everything except routine maintenance and wear items. As a matter of fact, the only time you have 100% coverage on your vehicle is the first 12 months of 12,000 miles, because that's the only time you're covering things like squeaks, rattles, adjustments, belts, hoses, even brake pads, brake shoes, and even shock absorbers. That's the only time those items are covered. Now, you also, of course, have a 5-year, 60,000 mile powertrain warranty. So let me explain to you exactly how that works, because it's very, very confusing to most people. Believe it or not, you're sitting in your new car, looking at all the neat things you just told me about, you liked on your new car or truck you didn't have in your last one, right? Understand, nothing you're looking at is covered by that powertrain warranty. Now, you want to hear something crazy? If you pop the hood, look underneath the hood, believe it or not, nothing you can actually see is covered by powertrain warranty, because all it covers is internal parts of engine and drivetrain. That's it, nothing else. Now, through the surveys that I mentioned, we have found that customers wish two things about their factory warranty. There's number one, they wish it lasted longer. And number two, they also wish it covered more. Because of that, we have come up with what we call our VIP experience or VIP benefits package here at ABC Motors. And the first thing it's going to do is strengthen the time up to 5 years and more than double the mileage up to 5 years and 75,000 miles. That's the most. There we go. Now, as we do this, as you say that, what should you be doing? You should be shading in that area, right? You want to make the visual. The reason the VIP is so effective, it gives a customer a visual of F&I products. Now, this is especially important to someone like you, because you told me earlier you're driving approximately, based on your trade too, you're driving 18 to 20,000 miles a year. That means your factory warranty is really only the first 2 years you're driving your vehicle. And when you sit there and show that 2 years underneath that 3-year 36, and you see what their coverage is compared to what you just shaded in, that's a huge visual difference. Now, but most importantly, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, our VIP benefits package is going to provide coverage and benefits that your factory warranty doesn't even cover in most cases. And starting off, what I believe is the number one most important benefit is a rental vehicle, loaner or rental, a vehicle for you to drive. If your car or truck breaks down anywhere in the United States and Canada, we're going to make sure you're not left stranded with something to drive either than a factory warranty. The second thing we're going to cover is trip interruption. All right, so what does that mean? If you're more than 100 miles away from home and break down, not only will we be providing you with a vehicle to drive, we will reimburse you for hotel and meals. Third thing we're going to cover is any type of emergency roadside assistance. Lock your keys in the car, you got to call Papa Lock to come unlock it, or you're running gas, it's going to bring us some gas. We're going to cover emergency roadside assistance for you also. And the fourth thing that we're going to cover in this case is what we call our UVP program. And this is an ultimate vehicle protection program. It provides coverage and benefits that are not covered for 1 day under your factory warranty. Now, first off, all those benefits we're talking about is with a zero deductible. What this means is we're going to pay 100% of a covered repair. But what we're going to be covering specifically for the first 5 years with no mileage limit. All right. Number one, the tires on your vehicle. All right. If you get a flat in the next 5 years, we're going to fix it. As a matter of fact, if we can't fix it, okay, we're going to buy you a brand new tire. You hit a curb, pothole, for example, it's a road hazard policy. All right. Now, you know what the good news is on tires and wheels? It's not just the tires and wheels you have on your car today, a truck today. It's any wheels you might have to replace those tires and wheels in the future. They'd be covered for that same initial 5-year period of time, as long as what you put on there wouldn't void factory warranty. The third, and besides the wheels, if you hit something and bend or break that wheel, like I said, if it can't be fixed, we're going to buy you a brand new wheel. All right. Paintless dent repair is the next thing we'll talk about. Look, I haven't looked at your trade. You're trading a 4-year-old car right now. It's got 83,000 miles on it. I promise you, if you and I walk around your car right now, you know what we're going to see? Little dings, little dents, because life happens, right? Well, the new one you're buying today, the new truck you're buying today, as these dents occur, we're going to have them taken out. Now, for a dent to be eligible, it can't be any bigger than a credit card. After that, it becomes car insurance. All right. Let's have these dents taken out for you. What that does is make it look better, for better resale value, and trade in time down the road from here. And of course, we're also going to cover the keys themselves on your vehicle. All right, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, as you probably know, all your vehicles today have a key fob, right? What you may not know, there's a computer chip inside there that's programmed to your vehicle. So here's what we're going to do. If you lose your keys or are stolen, damaged, for example, any of those things happen to them, we're going to replace this key fob for you up to $500. For most of you, it's $500. All right. We've got all the other keys in the ring up to $250. But most important thing we're going to do is take care of you getting home. If you get home, getting in your house with a locksmith if necessary. And also, most importantly, take care of your truck, because it's got to be at a dealership to get programmed. We'll get your truck towed into the nearest dealership as well. And of course, also, we're covering what we call our Safe Shield program as well. What it does is protect you on the interior and the exterior of your car from two things: Mother Nature and human nature. Okay, inside the car, there's human nature. Spills, stains, rips in your seat, for example, will be taken care of, and even a new vehicle, even replaced if necessary. And on the outside of the vehicle, we're going to cover you from Mother Nature. All right, and especially in our area, what I mean by Mother Nature, any damage to the exterior of your vehicle caused by, for example, tree sap, and of course the dreaded love bugs as well. And of course, also we are covering prepaid maintenance. All right, for the first 4 years of 50,000 miles, we're covering all of your scheduled prepaid maintenance, including oil changes, for example. We call that our Gas and Go program here at ABC Motors. Now, does it matter right now this customer's cash, bank, finance, credit union, new or used for that matter in most cases, right? Absolutely not. The transition. All right, here's the most important transition. So right now, do you have any questions about your factory warranty and what your factory warranty covers? And you're circling the what? The 3-year 36. As you say that, that's what you're doing. You're circling the 3-year 36 as you say that. All right. Customers follow your eyes, they follow your pen. When you're drawing that 3-year 36, you ask them any question about your factory warranty, what's the answer going to be? Well, no. Here's where we change our VIP from finance to cash or credit union. The next thing we'll talk about is a family debt protection program that we have available for our customers here at ABC Motors. And it does two things. The first thing it does is help make payments if you're sick, hurt, out of work, to cover accident illness, including cold, flu, or yes, even COVID. Also has a life insurance benefit at the same time. But it's my understanding you're paying cash today. Is that correct? It's my understanding you're going to your credit union today. Is that correct? But I'm afraid we can't offer this to you unless you're financing with us today on our special low rates. And I'm going to see if you bite. That's all. I want to see if there's a bite there. Is there an interest there? All right. And now I'll move on to gap. I'm going to do basically the same exact thing with gap. The next thing we talk about is gap protection, Mr. and Mrs. Customer. Gap protection is so important that we're actually required by state law. Most of us on here. Okay. We'll refer to that if we're not in Louisiana. And because gap is so important, because the fact that insurance companies, all right, there, as you know, will tell you what they think your vehicle is worth in the event of a total loss. All right, but it's my understanding you're paying cash today. My understanding you're going to need credit union today. I'm afraid we can't offer you this gap protection unless you're financing with us on one of our special low rates. And now's the time to put a menu payment in front of them. For example, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, I'm going ahead and take the liberty of giving you some payments and repayment options, which would, of course, include everything we've just gone over in our VIP program for you. There's the process of going into and using VIP as your goal with a cash or credit union customer. So last thing we'll talk about just for another second or two, the final notes on conversions. F&I step to sale doesn't change because it's cash, bank, or credit union. That never changes. It's always the same. It's going to be there, okay? After your VIP product presentation sheet, is there any particular reason? Let me show you, most people in your position don't want to pay cash today, go to the credit union, especially in today's economy. There's your magic words. Go straight to your longest term payment options. Offer it to this bank, cash, credit union customer. And also, at the same time, be sure to remember one main thing. Nothing is more discouraging as a salesperson to spend hours, days, maybe, hell, now they've been waiting for 2-3 weeks or maybe a month for something to come in for the customer, right? Nothing is more discouraging than to bring a deal to someone in F&I that's got a bad attitude because someone's paying cash or credit union. By God, don't forget where you came from. You probably faced this type of person when you were a salesperson, all right? So here's the bottom line. My goal is to do a great VIP presentation. At the end of that time, all I got them to, I made $100 on handling this cash or credit union customer because all they bought was, who knows, etch, okay? Guess what? That's $100 more in your books you had before the customer came in. And that is the only great attitude today. So I'm gonna leave you with one thing in closing today. I know all of you have been setting goals and standards, have been a big part of working with our team in the last few weeks, probably a couple of weeks, especially probably. Understand one thing, no one ever raised themselves up to meet low expectations. Go for it. Thanks. See you tomorrow, Funday Friday.